Good evening, specters, spirits, stars, and pulsars, and those who seek to know the darkness. Welcome to our landmark 52nd chapter of Blood from a Stone, a tale of love and dread in RPG. My name is Philip, and I've been your Dreadmaster for a whole year, and surrounding me are several of our wonderful players. Say hello, players.
Hello, players.
Hello, players.
Hello, players.
Hello,
And Dreadmaster.
This is such a...
More like Dread Daddy.
This is... Oh god, Dread Daddy is a really upsetting concept. This is a...
That would be DD, Dan, and no.
Dreadful Daddy.
Dreadful Daddy. We have a very
Already
special...
off to a great start.
We have a very special session for you guys tonight. This is our 52nd session, which means it is not only that this means we've been doing this for a whole year's worth without missing a single week, not even holidays. This is also our 4th collection of 13 sessions. And it's kind of interesting because every 13, there really was like a huge inflection point at all of them, even though none of them were specifically the sort of change and stuff. So as we sort of get into it here, I'm actually going to give a slightly longer recap, not in detail, but I'm going to basically explain what we've seen over the course of all 52 weeks of this, not just our immediate past. Before I jump into that, go ahead.
You mean you're not going to be reading every single recap you've written to start this off?
I will. You know what I didn't do? I should actually, next week I'll try to remember to do this because this is this 52nd, so we haven't finished this yet. I should see how many words all 52 recaps are, because I bet it's an embarrassing number. But it's a lot of words.
You should also read every single invocation.
I could read every invocation. I really went back and forth on what tonight's invocation was going to be, and I wasn't sure if I was going to go classic with it or pick an old one, but I wound up with one that is just, I think is very fitting just for the whole series as well as for the current scenario. And actually I'm going to now read that invocation to start, and then we'll sort of get into our recap because it's kind of so all-encompassing, and we'll sort of get into it. So, the 52nd invocation of Blood from a Stone. This isn't a war. It never was a war, any more than there's war between men and ants. We began in a town called Paradise, where we followed various denizens, mostly students at the school, as they sort of began to realize that their town wasn't like a normal town. No one actually could realize they had left. They were surrounded by strange horrors on all sides, mainly centered around a figure called the Stone Man, a statue with sunglasses and a leather jacket who just wanted to feel love. Over the course of this time, we met so many characters as we watched dreadstorms incur from other domains and realized that whatever was going on here might not simply be contained to this one town. In chapter 13 of that game, we actually met Oksana, who was present for one of the most major incursions into Paradise. I think both Dan and Andrew were present as other characters. I think Dan was Sensei Mark Dan was Green and Andrew was Sensei Mark at that point. Yep. We met Oksana as the grave marshes spilled in and permanently created a sort of a marsh-like section of Paradise that most people in town remembered as being such. But in any case, Oksana sort of joined up with several others who had formed this odd alliance with an angel named Etienne Rene. He had allowed a few people to tie their consciousnesses to other spirits so that they might have a bit of memory when they died. One person who I think took part in that ritual but did not actually join into the weird orgy that followed was an actress named Dahlia Frey. Dahlia survived a long time because her charisma was pretty out of this world. And then it was even kicked up higher because she sang a song to a strange crypt. A song called The King Bee Needs His Honey. a song that actually is a little bit more relevant to things than any of you have quite realized as the game goes on. Dahlia's time, and in fact our time in Paradise, was cut short when we had a total party death. Oksana had been transformed into a vampire. Dahlia had been... actually, the rest of the party who was there, including poor Denk the Chosen, a young man named Dylan, were just sort of taken out by multiple horror surges that a dreadstorm came from Rocket Base 95, at which point Dahlia was pulled up into a spaceship. Her brain was removed from her head, but preserved in a jar, her consciousness and charisma, to be used by these Vel'Daral tentacle-faced aliens. At this point, we shifted our perspective to a domain called Merkshire, where we followed a group from the Order of the Opal Octopus, trying to find, setting out on a mission to find their long missing member, but instead, going on all sorts of sojourns, getting stuck at a place called Bitter End, a manor house, getting wrapped up in some very sort of strange, dark, brooding gothic tales of a woman long dead, ghost stories, and we met many interesting friends there, and we missed them all, but one person from that place actually was a man named S.A. Rawlings. He showed up after a judge died under strange circumstances, seemingly just a heart failure. But, and I guess I should also mention that in our second set of 13, in chapter 26, Siobhan Walsh, we sort of had our first solo session where we followed a single character as she did various things. And that was a very fun session, too. We learned about her very tragic backstory with her sister Brona, and none of that ended well either. But this gentleman Rawlings, along with a nun named Sister Mercy, they wound up performing a song called The Score Is Worth More, which took them away from the others and somehow wound up with them crossing over into yet another domain of dread, one called Hysteles. In Hysteles, they met up with some other memorable characters like Dr. Soup, Igneous, Hattie Ford, but they also encountered an individual there named the Drifter. In session 39, after another set of 13 sessions, before this, Rawlings also was sucked up into the very same spaceship where Dahlia's brain was resting by these Vel'Daral aliens in yet another dreadstorm, because this game's amazing. But that same ship improbably came back in session 39, our third set of 13. That was a huge session in which Rawlings really kind of accelerated many of my plans, because Rawlings realized, based on things he learned in Merkshire, that there was probably a book somewhere. There was probably a work, a text that would reveal a lot of information that he wanted and these Vel'Daral aliens who had captured him wanted. And against all odds, with Rawlings' guidance and the assistance of Dahlia, who was operating as a brain in a jar, the Vel'Daral aliens acquired Film 13, which they then took back with them to Rocket Base. Things didn't end great for several of the other people in Hysteles. They were manipulated by that Drifter into inadvertently poisoning the current Dark Lord of Hysteles, a shape-shifting creature called the Lute, who was basically just like a super powerful mimic. By basically, they poisoned themselves with inadvertently, and then upon him consuming them, he died from this. Sister Mercy escaped back to Merkshire, bringing with her Mikey Santangelo, a dwarf who everyone was very surprised to see in that predominantly human world. Sister Mercy and Mikey, after a pretty rough sort of incursion, another sort of dreadstorm that occurred, they and Siobhan felt that their only recourse to sort of help a young girl named Sarah Quill and a man who was badly injured, actually already dead unbeknownst to them, named Conrad Bourgeois, was to venture out to a house called Trow House, where they met a very sad end. We then shifted the dial by a roll, it should be pointed out, to go here to Rocket Base 95, where we had two characters who we'd already met involved in matters. And we followed Rawlings as he tried with these Veldoral to communicate some of what he'd learned to their allies at the Arlington Grith Corporation aboard Rocket Base 95 itself. But upon even writing the name of the Dark Lord of this plane, the awareness, and showing it to one of the robots here, that robot flipped out, activated all of its drones to do the same. It happened to be the head security robot, and the group were basically forced to flee. They also destroyed the Veldoral ship. It was a huge mess, multiple sessions. Then there was a horror surge of razor ants inside. The short version of this is that Rawlings, his Veldoral guard Elekie, Dahliabot, we forgot to mention, Dahlia's brain got put into a chrome version of her body. It's rad. And Elutella, a moth woman of Rosera 6, they all managed to sort of escape, but then crash land on a planet they are unfamiliar with. After some pretty dark situations in which it seemed like Elutella was dead until she sort of woke up, all of her wounds cleared. Definitely not because she had an interplanar conversation with Ugelplur, a name that no one can say. Our group decided to venture towards the nearest sort of transmission point they could find, which seemed to be some kind of temporary research station here on the planet. But around it, they found several bodies. They found a sort of hole ripped in this sort of limited atmosphere, sort of planet kind of blowing in what just turned out to be a table fan. They ventured in. Elekie and Elutella went inside. Dahlia was outside carrying Rawlings over one shoulder. He was still unconscious. And a computer core over the other. Elutella and Dahlia at this point saw in the distance an area where space seemed sort of distorted. Shifting, something was wrong. You couldn't quite see what was there. Elutella and Elekie on the inside, our L's, they noticed writing on a door that was locked from their side. Writing that said, do either of you remember this? The words that it said.
Keep out dead inside.
It was not that, but correct energy. No, what it said was trust. Oh, go ahead, Elekie.
Trust the Shroud.
Trust the Shroud. An organization Elutella was not particularly familiar with, though she did believe she'd heard reference to it. At this point, a banging began to sound from the other side of the door. Someone pounding, wanting to be released. That is where we ended chapter 51. And here at the beginning of chapter 52, with an odd number of you, we're going to do something a little bit top-flighty. And you have two choices. So you will vote for which of the following prologues you would like to witness.
Oh boy.
And they are simply this. The devil you know, or the devil you don't. A vote for one, a vote for two, a vote for one. Zane, a vote for two. Liv, it comes down to you. Do you want the devil you know or the devil you don't?
Okay, I left it up to my TikTok followers, and they said the devil you know.
The devil you know.
Sorry, Dan.
So with that,
I'm gonna have my TikTok followers go invade your TikTok, and I don't know.
I think your followers follow you for a different kind of thirst trap than mine do.
I bet a lot of us, I think everyone's followers would enjoy each other's thirst traps. So,
Where are the bisexuals? Then we'll cover this.
At this
Stay
point,
hydrated.
we're going to cut to deep space, or as deep of space gets here, the Amaranthine Nebula. When out of that purple cloud comes a figure moving freely into this plane through the mist. As our camera sort of tracks towards him as his figure grows closer, we see that he's wearing sort of a spacesuit with a bubble helmet and a jetpack. He moves a hand up to the to the helmet and kind of sort of almost you see the body sigh. And as this incredibly handsome matinee idol, movie star, good-looking guy hovers there for a second, unable to kind of just rakishly move his hair back. He just shakes his head, says, God, I hate it here. He flips a couple of controls in his jetpack, sets him on a course. Where's he heading? To a rocky green planet in the distance. The Drifter has work to do. And when the Drifter's on a job, well... So, Elekie and Elatella, you're at this door, and you hear a pounding.
I am not quite sure what we should do at this juncture.
We may have to defend ourselves.
You look sturdy enough to be a defender. However, I am rather frail. My wings are very thin, and I am not quite sure what sort of defense I may be able to mount.
Remain behind me.
I appreciate it. I will watch your six, as they say in Terran.
Andrew, I'm going to say that with what your sense score is, and again, I know we haven't quite talked through how this game works, but basically you got dice numbers and it's how many dice you roll, and we're all good. You have a 3D in sense, so I'm going to say that while pounding on a door, you can certainly hear voices on the other side of it. So you do hear them speaking.
Excuse me. Is someone there?
That does not sound like a murderous robot, I will say.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Hello? Yes, we are in here. Are you a robot?
Not that I know of.
Yes, why are you banging so aggressively on this door?
I am trapped inside here.
No, we are trapped inside here.
No, I am trapped inside. This is the side that is trapped.
No, we are trapped, and
We are not trapped here.
We are not trapped. I do believe we are.
Perhaps I should wait for another group to come and rescue me.
Oh, well, I do not believe that there are many friendly groups that can assist either of us. So in order to determine that you are not a robot, can you tell me anything in binary, perhaps?
Can I tell you something in binary? Like, you mean like the binary code of like 2 to the 16?
Your confusion is confirmation that you are perhaps not a robot. So I will look to Elekie and say, well, perhaps...
What excuse me though, what is your fixation on robots though?
Well, we have been aggressively pursued by robots in order for them to perhaps not allow us to live. And now we are on a strange planet, and we are just not sure if there are any latent robots here.
I should ask, are you Asians of... Have you heard of the Shroud?
Just once, actually.
Perhaps we should keep this door closed.
Well, I'm not overly familiar with it. What is it?
No, that's all right. No, that's quite all right. I'm quite comfortable right here. Good luck with your robots.
If you were comfortable, then why were you trying to exit?
Well, because I'm trapped here.
Well, if it's comfortable, then perhaps you should let us into there.
He is trapped.
Well, he says it's comfortable.
All right. Let's proceed.
I pull the door hatch.
All right. As you
and I have my gamma staff ready just in case.
Have your gamma staff
Have
ready.
been behind Elekie. this whole time.
Tell us stuff about like, so you're in this sort of. I really didn't set the stage because we were cutting there, but basically, from what our side has seen, you're in this kind of prefab hallway. There is a dead Tivwivet behind you on the ground. As you disengage this massive lock and pull it open, some minor depressurization occurs. Andrew, what you see, or Pascal, you see a Veldural. That is Zane's character. Veldural have, like, they're kind of like mind flayers.
Mind flayers.
Davy Jones, tentacle-faced. Yep. He has a gamma staff, which is sort of both like a ranged particle thing, and also you can sort of fight up close. Standing behind him, wearing...
I have flared my wings, so it kind of looks like he has wings.
It does sort of use wings, but you sort of see standing behind him, wearing Arlington Grith corporate gear, same as your own, is a Mothwoman of Rosera 6. 4 eyes, large wings. Her garment, though, does have some injured sections to it, but she seems to be in okay health.
Well,
and would
good
you describe
evening.
Yourself to them as you?
Yes, yes. You see quite a tall man with sort of like very neatly cut blonde hair, sort of piercing blue eyes, like really great skin. Dressed in a fitted Arlington Grith uniform, a ray gun in a holster, and he looks like surprisingly clean. His clothes have shown some wear. However, you can tell right off the bat that he's taken very, very good care to mend. He has very precise stitches on places that have been sewn up. Are there any other people inside here?
All you see are these two, and on the ground behind them, you do see the corpse of a Tivwivet. This is the Tivwivet you didn't know. This was what Tivwivet, who used to be a part of the crew here. Tivwivets, by the way, are they're basically like 16 spindles and then a bunch of like weird eyes and orifices and 16 other spindles. There's some very weird aliens here.
That's great.
But that
I don't judge.
That former friend of yours is unfortunately dead. And I guess we should mention that Pascal is a human. So that you all see one another.
Do you require care?
Oh, no, I have been healed. I'm very well. It appears that you have encountered perhaps some battle yourself.
Yes, unfortunately, my crew seem to lose themselves.
Explain.
They began gibbering. They chased me in here. They began killing each other. It was quite unpleasant. I don't quite understand it, to be honest. It doesn't seem very productive.
Yes, that does sound very counterproductive, in fact.
You also work for Arlington Grith?
How did you... Oh, yes. However, all things considered, I don't believe I will be choosing to be employed by them anymore, should they even exist at this current time.
Oh.
Just all things considered. I'm sorry?
Well, what brings you to this planet, then?
We have crashed.
Yes.
We must repair our ship.
That is unfortunate.
Mhm.
I was hoping that you were a rescue party for me, so it seems that is not the case.
Oh, no.
Shall we stride forth?
What is the function here?
I am part, or I was part of a crew looking for. Let me try to recall.
Would you like a
We were here to take ore samples. We were here to take ore samples, but then there was a strange reading. May help us. I don't know. Fix your ship, or perhaps it is the reason why you crashed. I'm not quite sure. It is unsettling. The crew, they began talking about the shroud and incessantly. I mean, it began slowly at first, so I do hope that it won't also take your minds as well.
Yes, I do hope it will not as well. Is there any way that you may prevent it from happening, that you sensed or
If I had known that, I mean, I think the logical explanation would be if I had known that, I wouldn't have allowed that to happen, and I wouldn't be trapped here.
Well, yes, but you obviously learned things by observation, and you obviously observed many of your crew members succumb to this. So I would assume that you would at least gather some sort of knowledge as to how to avoid that.
Oh no, I appreciate you bringing up that memory for me. That is vivid and traumatic.
Yes, well, apparently it didn't do any good because you did not surmise anything from it.
I sense some hostility or some resentment brewing.
Oh well, I've had quite an adventure here, and perhaps elsewhere, though I'm not sure. Alekie, shall we move on?
Yes,
let's.
let's.
To repair our ship.
I
describe what I need.
Sure. Go ahead in that case. Why don't you make a repair roll, and Pascal, why don't you also make a repair roll that is under your technical column?
Okay. Okay. And great. Perfect.
11.
That is a 12.
A 12. That's a... You get the parts that he's looking for. You think that it's potential that you might have some stuff that could serve in a pinch, but it might be outside of your own personal expertise to perform those actual repairs.
Yes. I could help find these pieces, I believe. That is my training, is searching, finding, surveying, if you will, and helping out as best I can.
Very well.
But the actual repairs, I do not think that I'll be able to accomplish that.
We shall be sufficient on our own.
Well done. I do believe, that said, I do believe, and based on the parts that he's told me, I do feel like there might be a good place to look for those pieces. There was a depot of sorts, an area that I believe may be holding a good repository of those specific parts. So
we shall go there.
Then if you
wonderful.
If you sort of take them to that part of the facility, we're going to cut outside where Rawling, you find yourself sort of waking up. You seem to be like partially inverted, and Dahlia, would you have had him like slung over your shoulder?
Yes.
Okay, then Rawlings, you sort of come to, sort of staring at like a chrome butt. Sort of presumably fairly shapely, because that's how the aliens would have done it. But yeah,
it's juicy. Let's be real here.
What's Dahlia? Is it?
Oh, are you awake?
Oh yes. Where are we?
We're on a planet of unknown origin. You were quite unconscious, so I was carrying you. Would you like to go down now?
Yes, if you could let me down gently, please.
It's very good you specified that.
Yes, please do not drop me. I don't know. I like to make sure that my legs will support my body.
Am I still carrying the other thing?
You have over your basically you got a man over one shoulder, you got a computer core over the other shoulder.
Okay, so I'll just kind of like gently roll him down my arm and
Okay,
then
cool.
lower him down.
Yeah, Rawlings, go ahead and just for the fun of it, just make a physical roll for me. That's kind of funny. What do you got on that? 2D plus 2. I love it.
Oh wow, that's a 12. So close.
Actually, 12. Yeah, well, in this case, a 12 is pretty good. But I know it is. I know what you wanted it to be close to. Yeah, you managed to sort of like stand and sort of push your feet up. You also find just on the ground there. It's like, oh, cool. Here's 4 energy cubes. So you just throw those on. Dahlia, you similarly, while glancing around, it was probably hard to like squat with all the stuff on, but you're a robot, so it wasn't hard at all. You have 4 energy cubes as well. Elatella and Alekie and Pascal, you guys all picked up.
Dahlia bot can back squat like.
I would
hundreds of
imagine she
pounds.
probably can. You guys, while walking, you all just picked up a few power cubes, so you're fine.
What? How many? I'm sorry.
Everyone
you just
gets
said.
4.
Okay.
4.
For some reason, I like throwing those out as like an in thing. Everyone's just like, oh, cool, power cubes. So Rawlings, as you sort of get your bearings on your feet, you look around, you see that you are on a green, rocky planet. There is very little atmosphere, although your helmet is off and you are breathing somewhat normally. It feels thin, kind of feels like you're up on a high mountain. You can see like just the stars above you. There's not quite enough atmosphere to sort of be obscuring that. And yeah, you wouldn't notice any radiation at this point. So yeah, you just kind of, you feel a little amiss, and of course you feel groggy, but otherwise you're okay. And you do see the dog.
Do I still see the whatever in the distance?
You do. It's a couple of kilometers away.
It looks like a window.
It is much. It looks like at least a kilometer in size, maybe further. A whole section of the horizon is just kind of like sort of mirage-like.
Mirage and wavy and
Wavy, and it even contains some of the stars above, maybe like 2 or 3 degrees up.
Rawlings, do you see what I see, or are my visual sensors malfunctioning?
Can I see it? Whatever she's pointing at.
Make a sense roll. It is under dreadful aspects.
Oh, okay. I roll a 6 on my exploding die.
Hey!
So that
explode.
is 22.
The 22. You glance forward, and Rawlings. I'm gonna say because you cleared 20, which gets you into like a very difficult area. What you see before you is a large area that feels cloaked or shrouded. Something strange is happening where when you look at the area, it seems to be almost like some kind of mirror. Like you're not seeing what you're seeing a rough representation near it. And because you've cleared 20, as you look at that area, you know this is a thing of dread.
Oh, quite incredible. Well, my initial question is, how long was I out?
How long was he out?
2 hours, maybe.
You were out of approximately well, my internal sensors say 2 hours.
Fantastic, thank you. Have we done any scans of that anomaly over there?
Scans with what?
Is the ship the ship has no scanners, no sensors of any kind?
The crash ship that was
Crash?
flooded?
The last thing I remember was the ants and then falling, and that's it. So I don't.
Oh right, you don't recall the eels in the water and the freezing and
What?
Yeah, things got a little weird.
Oh my. Well, I must admit, this sounds like another planar incursion, and I am quite upset that I was not there to see it. But well,
I'm not able to scan. Like, I don't have anything.
No, unfortunately, your integrated system isn't there. But I mean, you can try to operate a scanner, which you might be able to find in the facility. However, emerging from one of the doors of the facility, you see a human, very clean cut, with blonde hair, piercing blue eyes, very very nice sort of suit, and following behind him, you see both Elutella and Alekie.
Dahlia suddenly remembers she's a robot again and gets very sad.
And Pascal, just for your knowledge, you see standing a little bit beyond, kind of, there are a few more bodies kind of out here, but you see standing a few feet away from you, maybe 10 meters, 20 meters, in the rough direction of kind of an area where some scanners were having some trouble. You see a human in what looks like a Veldoral style spacesuit, and kind of like retracted bubble helmet, and you also see a chrome robot that looks like a very it seems like an odd way to build a robot. It just kind of looks like a girl, like a woman, human woman, just she looks like an actress. She looks like the kind. It looks like a robot made of chrome that looks like the kind of person who, if you saw her in like a school play, you'd be like, oh, she's gonna make it. She's going places. She can do a soap opera, no problem. It's that kind of face. You know what I mean? It's like she'll get commercial work. That's not the problem. Is if she's gonna be able to break into features. Because that's such a different game. I mean, that has nothing to do with looks. So much going on.
This game is making me uncomfortable now.
But yes, you see a robot and a man, and the robot over her shoulder has has what you think is some kind of computer equipment.
Are these your compatriots?
If that is what you'd like to call them.
Yes, they are. As of right now. Well, things are changing rapidly, so I am always open to the option of more compatriots, less compatriots, dead compatriots, live compatriots. A lot has happened.
Does Dahlia hear them?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're only a few feet away from you. They're all present. Yeah.
I'm still gonna go, who? Excuse me, who are you?
He's a survivor.
It is a pleasure. Pascal kind of like drinks Dahlia bot in a little bit, and he goes, reciprocal. Fascinating.
Explain.
I am Pascal. I was here and my crew went crazy. I am hopeful that you may be able to help me, and perhaps I might be able to help you. Do you need help shouldering that burden?
No.
Okay, just wondering.
What's reciprocal?
You have a metal body. It's very interesting.
So you mean recyclable?
No, it doesn't matter. Have you also sensed the anomaly?
You mean that? I'm gonna point at the thing.
This is the first time I've seen it, right?
We'll make a sense roll. Let's see if you see it. And Alekia, you may do the same. Pascal, if you'd like to make a sense roll, you can. But I think you've been here. You were aware of that area for sure.
Sorry, and just to clarify, it's 3D, but Dreadful is 2, so it's 5, right? 5 die.
It's whatever you have for sense.
Yes.
It should have its own line. Sense for you is 3D. It's not additive.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's
Dreadmaster, does the thing I'm looking at match the thing I was looking for?
Go ahead and make a sense roll.
16.
16, great. Elutella, is it something sweet and beautiful? Is it a 3?
Nice.
Oh, the world feels good to
you.
me.
Oh. Oh no.
This wonderful night.
It's
Roll
a
a D13.
You rolled a 13?
So wait, Pascal, you rolled a 1 on your
Dare.
wild die?
Yes, correct. I wrote a 1 on my wild die, so my total is 1.
Understood. So it's very interesting. Pascal, Pascal, you look in that area and it just, you see nothing amiss, but they're all looking at it like there's something strange. Elatella, did you roll your D13?
No.
Just roll a 13 on it. It would be so cool.
No.
A 7.
A 7. Great. Thank you. Well, we're at 6 on this dread clock. Guys, it's our 50-second session. Let's fill this up.
Gotta have it.
My name's
Yeah.
Philip. Let's fill it up,
Well, then we need to roll some dice.
That is very true. So, but Elatella, you can see this, and Alekia, you actually very much sort of see this area that seems
Can
kind
I
of odd.
analyze?
Sure. Make an analyze check, Elatella. Yes,
So,
difficulty would be
while,
lower on this because of your. Go ahead, Rawlings.
While Pascal is talking to Dahlia, can I do an insight on him to see how he's seeming a little off?
Absolutely.
I'm not from around here, but
Pascal, please make a deceive roll, and you can make your insight, Mr. Rawlings.
11.
11.
I rolled a 6 on the dread die.
You
I
roll
re-roll.
it again. Correct.
Yes.
Oh.
Add
You
it.
explode.
You explode.
17.
I
21.
also rolled an 11.
An 11. Ooh, fascinating. I will simply say this, Rawlings. I will confirm that something seems off or deceptive, but you simply don't know what it is. Largely because, remember, you're a man out of time.
Right,
You're
yeah.
from Merkshire.
Time and place.
Yes, you're. There's so many things that could be going on with this person, but I will say that with a tide roll there, you may have a sense of something is going on, and you can keep your hackles up. Elutella with a 21. You believe that area, using technology you're not certain of, unless it is some kind of strange spatial anomaly, the area appears to be cloaked. You think you are looking at some kind of cloaking on a kilometers-wide scale.
Oh, well, that is very interesting. It appears that this area has been, according to my observations, because I am very good at those, and I can make conclusions based on my observations. This area appears to be cloaked in some way.
Interesting.
And to sort of clarify to those who've seen it, again, Pascal, you don't really understand what they're talking about, but for Elutella, Alekia, Rawlings, and Dahlia Bot, you are Elutella, you don't really have as good a vibe of where the edges are. Rawlings, you really can tell like the exact size of it. Alekia, you think you have a pretty good idea of the boundings, but it seems like you are maybe 2 kilometers away from where it starts, and it is at least 1.5 kilometers wide from where you're looking. For those of you who can sort of see the sizes.
Can we? I'd like to describe where it is to Pascal, and ask what is in that direction.
I'm actually going to send you a quick message, Andrew.
Yep. So, unfortunately, we did try reading our sensors, but they got screwed up. I had a hard time reading on that heading. That makes sense what you say about it being cloaked now. I couldn't make heads or tails of it. I think that we should look out for it, though. I mean, I don't want to I don't want to push you all into something that you don't want to do, though.
Do you happen to have any equipment or tools to perform a scan of it?
A scan? I don't. Do I? Not a scan.
You could probably find some within the facility that you just left. I mean, there, whether or not you can find like the highest end, would be a different question. But you can certainly find some basic, sensors in there.
I am a bit reticent to re-enter the area that we were, considering that my former crew lost their minds. We could go in there to scan it, or we might be able to walk.
Wait, they lost their minds, please.
Yes.
They lost. Okay.
Yes, they began muttering about this thing called the Shroud. The muttering became talking. The talking became yelling and screaming, and then they chased me and locked me into this thing after murdering each other.
I will go.
What is the Shroud?
Yes. I don't know.
This is a question
It's
for the
vexing.
DM.
Go ahead, Elatella.
I don't know. Star Trek knowledge, and we were talking about it. Is it possible that she would be able to determine like cloaking devices, shroud?
You may draw that connection if you'd like.
Thank you very much. If I may, I do believe that the shroud may be whatever is either covering this or behind this. So this may have been causing the insanity.
Do I have that sense? I almost feel like it was more anthropomorphic, but do I have that sense that tracks? DM?
Make a good question. Make an insight roll that is under dreadful.
Okay. Seven.
Motivations are always so hard. It's difficult to sort of understand why people do what they do. I'll phrase it like this: you doubt that's what it was.
Okay. Yeah, I think that is a very astute and interesting connection. However, I do believe it felt less literal, more symbolic, more anthropomorphic.
Do I trust him?
Make an insight.
Do I trust you?
All right, everyone, insight rolls and deception rolls. No. Pascal, give me another deceive, and Dahlia Bot do an insight.
Insight's just gonna be
It's
my
dreadful
standard
unless
dreadful.
it's dreadful unless you have it as a thing.
Yeah.
And I guess I actually
I think I
mentioned-
finally figured out how this system works.
Right, yeah, I guess I
I'm gonna
actually
lean over to
should mention-
Dahlia. I'm also gonna say, does she often give vaguely barbed insults to everyone else on your crew?
You didn't hear me say it.
Oh no! I keep rolling horribly.
Oh no! Did you roll a 1 on your die?
A run on my die. That's a 3 total.
Understood. All right.
8.
8.
8 plus 4 is 12. I cannot do math
Eight.
tonight. 15.
I
16.
never can.
16. Okay, so actually, and there's an interesting thing where this kind of correlates to some stuff from our D100 systems. A 3 means you are actually 3 degrees you are 3 degrees of success above him with that. So I'm going to phrase it to you like this, Dahlia Bot.
Yes.
Whether or not you trust him, I'll leave that up to you. But as he's saying all of this and the way he's saying it, that doesn't make sense. Things seem anthropomorphic. Whatever word he said, something about the way this guy's thinking doesn't seem like the way a person would think.
Interesting. Is he a shapeshifter?
This I'll allow you can make other rolls on these points, but something about him seems you're getting a vibe that he's off and the things he's saying seem odd, for sure.
You say your crew went mad?
Yes.
Do you feel quite right in your senses?
I feel perfectly fine in my senses. It's also quite vexing. I feel quite guilty. I don't really understand why me. They were good people, so I don't really understand. To be truthful, it was difficult to watch.
Watch what exactly?
Their minds unravel.
And how did they unravel?
Well, it first started with another one of the sort of survey crew. Some of them seeing these messages, whispering to each other, looking around, getting more and more paranoid, then violent. Then they became quite frustrated that I didn't understand what they were talking about. I mean, to be truthful, I've never really quite understood what makes people tick, but they chased me, they locked me up.
How are you unaffected by this?
I don't know.
Well, is there perhaps something different about your physiology that would have prevented the insanity from pervading your mind?
Do I trust them?
That is this question only you can answer. Go ahead and make an insight roll, just as you kind of take the measure of these people. I'm not going to have them roll deception in response.
Don't roll a 13.
That would be
It's a 10.
Actually, rolling a 13 would be good. You don't, Alfred, you don't believe any of them are anything other than they say they are.
I guess a better question would have been, do I feel like do I feel like they do I feel safe around them?
For that, I would like you to make a flat, dreadful roll.
And what is that?
So
Oh,
that is
okay,
just the dreadful,
Yep.
just like the top.
Okay.
3 days. There's really no difference between that and the other thing you rolled, but we're just saying.
Okay.
Roll like
11.
I mean, Pascal, it would be foolish to feel safe anywhere.
Right.
But they seem less dangerous than your crew was.
Yes. Okay. Well, it may have something to do with this, and I sort of flip my hand sort of violently open, and inside are a bunch of like it's sort of like a milky white liquid with like sort of there's some like whirring gears, and then out extends like a small antenna. Reciprocal.
Are you part android?
There's that word again, reciprocal.
Well, you are a person in a robot body, yes?
Well, that's rather rude, I think.
Hmm.
To go around asking someone.
I don't mean to offend. I'm sorry.
I need to reassess my assessment for potential dangerous robots.
I apologize for not being forthright, but I felt that considering the first thing you asked me if I was a dangerous robot.
Well, yes, it is understandable because she is, as far as I am concerned, not dangerous, at least to us.
Oh, I would consider her quite dangerous, actually.
Well, but not to her compatriots.
Capably
Dahlia is
dangerous.
very offended by this.
Oh. I cannot see. This is how I know you are a person in a robot body, because I have a very difficult time understanding how you behave.
So then you admit it. You are a robot.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that this would. I thought that was clear. Do you need me to do more? I mean, I can do more.
To prove you are a robot?
I mean, if you wish.
I don't believe that is necessary.
Okay, what are your capabilities? You don't need to do them all. Just what are the?
Oh no! Like I said, I am a surveyor. I look for things.
Well, then can you survey that anomaly over there?
Yes, I can. I can tell. Unfortunately, like my instruments are not great. It's more about, say,
So you
suppose less.
You need a bigger instrument to get the job done properly.
It's less about the size of the instrument as it is the way in which it transmits.
Yes, I understand. But yes.
Yes. I have a very powerful transmission.
This discussion is irrelevant. We must get the sensor. And I need to know if you have a medical kit in your facility.
It is not my facility, but I do not know. Like I said, I think that we should potentially make our way there. I don't trust. It would be very. The closest analog I could say would be heartbreaking if I could feel that, but to see the rest of you lose your minds. I don't wish to see that, and I also don't wish to be trapped in another tomb.
Where would we find the sensors?
I believe that if we get closer, we might be able to interpret it. I'll leave that up to you, though. I'm happy to help however I may be helping.
I guess I'm just to sort of clarify the scene here to
sorry.
everyone. Where you are all standing right outside of a kind of like a prefabricated temporary building that was dropped here by Arlington McGriff. This building would be 40 feet. It's kind of like a couple of little buildings that branch off from each other, and each one's maybe 40 feet by 20 feet. And then the place where you entered through Alekier, that was like that plastic area that you kind of stepped through, like, just almost greenhouse-looking places. Within there probably are some supplies, and you also see some crates of supplies and equipment out here. In the distance, about a couple kilometers away, nothing between you and that, is simply an area that looks like continued expanse of this barren, rocky, green planet, but that area seems to be sort of wavy and strange. So you have no idea what is actually beyond that if you are assuming it as a cloak. There might be a building there. There might be just more space.
I would assume that unfortunately I was not able to really see that. My sensors were malfunctioning just now. However, I would imagine that if someone took the trouble to hide it, there must be something valuable there.
Prior to approaching,
yes,
we must gather supplies here.
If you wish. I shall stay outside, though. I do not really wish to spend more time locked inside.
Dolly is gonna hang out and keep an eye on Pascal.
Okay.
Oh, I'm happy for the company, actually. I'm fascinated about your body.
That's very rude.
I apologize. I did not mean any rudeness.
You should never comment on a woman's body, regardless of if she is a human, a moth woman, or a robot.
Precisely.
There's nothing wrong with her body.
I did not
Are
ask
you-
for your
It's very
body
well formed and well
to
created.
exist in my body.
I shake my head and just walk toward the building.
You go back in the
Yeah,
building.
See if I can find some supplies.
What are you looking for, Lucky?
I want to find. I'm wounded, so I'd like to find some type of medical kit and to see if there's any type of sensors that we might use.
Understood. Under your mental, please roll and investigate, and you could always ask others to help. With
I don't have.
sensors.
Oh yes, I do.
It'll be kind of one of your standards. So it's
Down
not
there,
just
yeah.
a flat thing. Rawlings, what are you up to?
Well, if Alekia is going to go, I can assist Alekia.
Okay. A 10?
Yeah.
You are able to find a medical kit. It is actually a mental skill to try to heal yourself. So you could also ask someone else to do that if you think they are more.
I could attempt to use it.
Okay. Rawlings, go ahead and make a mental roll in that case. I don't think we gave any of you. Oh man, you're good at that.
Smile. Like, what is it?
Oh, is it?
It's a 13, baby.
Aha! Well, the
No!
good news. So this is a kind of a good news, bad news scenario for you here. Alekia, you do remove your wounded condition.
Woo!
He's taking it out. Here we go.
I'm taking it out in front of the internet. Let's go.
Oh my god, people.
Don't get our
11,
channel.
god damn it.
11?
11.
I should count that because today's the premiere of Stranger Things Season 4, and this is our fourth 13. It's so close, but no. But very good. Well, with that, yes, you are able to kind of like help his sort of injuries and give him some stimulant shots and, you know.
And then could I also, while I'm in there, could we also be looking around just to see if there's any equipment that looks like, I don't know computers very well, but if there's something that seems like it might, could this be something that could be a scan-based thing?
That is an analyze.
Analyze.
Analyze this. Hey.
Analyze that.
Analyze that.
That is Philip. He's done it again. That's another 13.
4D
I'm leaving.
is a good number of D.
4D. We're here for the D.
Yeah, we are here for DD.
I'm whipping it out again.
We're here for the 13.
Oh my god.
That's a 1.
It's okay.
You know what I'm gonna do later tonight once we're done is I'm just gonna roll this like 200 times and see if they're balanced.
Here's the thing. 1, it might not be balanced because it is irregularly shaped and weird.
Right.
But 2, we don't need a horror surge every time. The fact that they can happen is what makes the game fun. We don't.
Well, but I
need
want
it
to.
all
No,
the time.
I want to make sure that it is possible for it to roll a 13 because we've never rolled a 13 on a D13.
I have.
Yeah, we have.
You have
I
what?
have.
Twice.
Twice? What?
She did twice that I have. Yeah.
Did I get a bum die?
You didn't, but we don't roll them. That
You want it
frequently.
too much is the
And
problem.
you may.
I
Here's
don't
the
want it
thing.
too much.
Here's the thing.
I really want it.
You also, you're my MVP when it comes to rolling the 13s to get us there, and just charging around this thing is just as important. So you're contributing.
You're saying that I can get you there. Great. That's all I need to do.
You've never let me down yet. Sometimes it takes a little extra time depending on how
There's
drunk
still
I
time.
am. But where were we? Saying something horrible. With a 13 Rawlings, I'm gonna actually say your analysis and your being around. You do pick up a rather basic scanning device. All it reads is basically just like normal, sort of telemetry, distances, all that kind of stuff, like a handheld scanner. It has like a, range of 50, 100 kilometers.
Well,
Gives you
I'll
basic
take that. Then.
information.
Hold on to that. Yeah.
Great. All right, so Elatella and Dahlia and Pascal, so the three of you have been waiting outside here. Alekia and Rawlings come out after a few minutes. Rawlings is carrying a handheld scanner.
Did you find what you were looking for?
We did.
Well, I mean, to a certain extent, we still haven't found what we're looking for, but I do have this handheld scanner that should help us find something.
Yes,
mean-
yes.
If you, it's fine. If you wish to rely on obsolete technology, that's perfectly fine. Shall we?
I believe a vigorous hands-on examination of this is the best way to determine what is going on. So let's go.
Yes. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, so you
Is this the same direction as where we? Where,
I love it so much.
is this the same direction in which we would travel to find the repair for the ship?
Deduction would say yes. I think that if we're going to find something, it would be behind whatever this cloak is.
Very well.
So you have a scanner,
Let's proceed.
but you're going to head toward the cloaking area.
Yes.
So then, as you sort of all begin to set off, it's not going to be too difficult to walk. The terrain is somewhat uneven, but you're all capable of, sort of taking these small, very, very hard hills. Strain on the knees, but what are you going to do? We're going to roll this one.
While we're walking, I'd like to walk next to Dahlia Bot and
just creep on her.
Gently just say, so do you need to sleep?
I don't know. Do I need to sleep?
Because you have a brain, you actually do, yes.
Oh.
The purpose of sleep, fun fact, is to clean the brain. That is what the most recent research suggests.
I hate it. I hate that.
I just
Don't tell me these facts.
Is that why I'm always so dirty?
I would say so. Something has to explain it.
Everyone who has insomnia has a dirty mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite literally. So,
Fascinating.
she does sleep. As you all are walking, you see a line up in the sky. Looks consistent with a jetpack.
Interesting.
Seemingly making its way sort of onto this planet.
Pascal, are you quite sure that every one of your crew members have passed?
No, I haven't taken account from the ledger, but I don't believe we weren't issued any of those jetpacks, were we?
There probably were some you could have taken. At this point, though, this thing is pretty far up, so if anybody wants to get a better look, they could make a sense roll. I would also mention that you guys do have literally have a sensor.
Yes, can I use the scanner too?
If you would like
Scanner.
If you would like to use the scanner, you can. It is a technical roll to use the scanner, though.
May I attempt to interface somehow to boost the signal?
Interesting.
I got a 4. I don't know if that...
You can't see anything. You're like, what? Is a shooting star? What do you guys want? Pascal, you want to boost the signal. I will say, if Rawlings would allow you to try to mess with the scanner, you certainly would. So yeah, go ahead and make a transmit roll in that case.
All right.
Do you also want me to make the technical roll, or?
We're gonna see if he kicks you up at all before.
That would be 21.
21.
Nice.
So, and I assume at that point, are you doing it with the wrist? Or are you pulling that out?
Oh, absolutely! Yeah. Basically, peeling off a tendon, and which then kind of has a little bit of a snake-like mind of its own, which then wraps around and then crawls inside.
So kind of just goes into the device and basically is sort of channeling.
That's disturbing.
You see the little dish receiver on his own receiver spinning a little higher and pointing in the direction and interfacing through the scan. So Rollins,
don't be alarmed.
Go ahead and make a technical roll, but give yourself an extra die on it.
11.
With an 11. It's you're not really the most adept at these kinds of things, but you've learned enough, and with the assistance he's providing, you kind of move a couple of dials, and you get a pretty clear image a pretty clear reading on it. There is a human being, a female. She seems to be entering from outside of the planet's like gravity, so she's like flying down into the gravity. You see there's a rather minor amount of energy that's like building up in front of her. You just get, it's like some high energy readings at the front of her, and then there's the energy reading of her pack. She's several kilometers up.
I will relay that to the group. And does it seem that she's going in the same direction we are, like kind of heading to the same?
She does seem to be sort of coming down in that direction.
Well, so and it seems like that we will, if we proceed to our current destination, we will meet her there. So I suppose we should make haste.
Yes.
Should we be concerned about?
I mean, in the sense that anyone,
Yes.
anyone who's here is potentially a servant of the Dark Lord of this domain. Yes, or possibly a servant of a Dark Lord of another domain. Yes, we should be very concerned, but we're going to be there one way or another. So I think it makes sense that we get there as soon as possible.
I enjoy your fatalism.
I mean, there's
Lords.
fatalist.
Seems a little bit dramatic, don't you think?
I think it's hardly dramatic at all. Dahlia, we've been through so much. Do you think? I would say that everything we've been through has been dramatic. Would be the least of the ways you could describe it.
The only thing that's dramatic here is me.
Ah.
That, however, the most pragmatic being here is Ilekie. What say you?
Shall proceed.
Very well.
Very well. As you all begin to move, are you attempting to be stealthy, or you're just walking kind of normally?
I will be stealthy.
I think we should be. Yes,
will.
I think that makes sense. We don't
Yeah.
wish to be targets.
Very well.
We're not going to even make you roll on that. The idea is you guys are just kind of going a little bit slower.
Okay.
You notice that as this figure, as this jetpack person gets through, to what Rawlings described, those Ilekie and Elutella and Pascal especially, you all understand that when people enter the atmosphere of a planet with a jetpack, they pull up like a temporary shield they do to like absorb the heat of the stuff, kind of like a handheld thing that they sort of have. So that's what some of that energy he was describing probably was. As you have made your way around halfway to this thing, you've gone about 0.75 kilometers. That figure is actually flying back toward the facility. Not. So she's kind of going behind you. She does not seem to have sensed you and noticed you at all, but she is not going where you're going. She's going behind you.
Oh dear.
Interesting.
Well, that buys us more time when we get to where we're going. So
Perhaps they're responding to the downed ship.
Do they look like they're wearing corporate uniform?
Like
No.
ours.
No one got he did not get that close a reading on it with his.
Ah,
roll.
perfect,
You guys
okay.
can try again, but it's just sort of.
No.
Corporate uniforms? Like Wayland Corp?
Well, it's Arlington Griffin. This game. It's not Wayland Yutani. It's.
I know, but I'm gonna ask it every
I
time.
understood.
Wait. Since we're in a dystopian future, theoretically, would we have certain chips that would be implanted
Oh
by
yeah,
the company?
you guys put a chip into Rawlings first thing. You and Rawlings both have chips in you for sure. Pascal's got a chip inside of him. Dahliabot definitely has a.
Quite a few
How about
chips. Quite a few.
Pascal's
Did we
got a
scan
lot of
for that?
chips. What's that?
Did we scan for that? Would those be detectable on those scans?
Yes, it would be, but Rawlings did not reach it at the distance he was going.
It's unfortunate his ineptitude.
I mean, lighten up.
Yeah,
He's from
chips that
he's
you
from
have
Victorian England.
That's
What was that?
unfortunate. That does not help us.
Yes.
I'm still waiting for someone to answer me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Yes. Does everything bother you, or just someone being more dramatic than you?
No, I was asking, we have chips. Do we have dip? No one answered.
What is dip?
Are you making? Is this an attempt at humor?
What is
What you're talking about?
Explain.
Hold on.
dip?
Yeah.
Dip.
Hmm.
Dip.
at this point in your sort of silent creeping, you are now only 100 meters. Basically a football field away. And you can definitely see at this distance, Pascal, even you see it, that there is an odd sort of like shimmery nature to what looks like just the continuing.
What is the scanner saying?
Make another scan on it.
5. No, wait, no. Sorry. Because I rolled a 1 on my die.
0.
It's a 0, yeah.
Great. Rawlings sort of holds up the
Excellent
scanner
job.
and looks at it, and Rawlings, it's all blank. There's nothing. It's black. There's nothing there.
There seems to have been disrupting the scanner. It's not functioning properly, and I just put the scanner.
Oh,
in.
yes. I'm sorry. I believe I am so sorry. I thought I had explained that this thing.
I'm gonna say that Elatella, you're just close enough to see that it has entered power save mode.
Well, may I? I will grab it, and can I do it?
I believe we should just potentially pass through. I am fine. If we wish to keep doing readings, that is fine.
It is.
We can.
You may operate the scanner. It would be a technical roll for you, Elatella.
I will do that. Which one is...
Exits. You turn off the screensaver, and then yeah.
Yes. Wait, where's technical?
It's one of your over. It's like the blue
Oh,
boxes.
duh. Sorry.
Overall
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't need to be sorry.
If you fiddle the left.
Mhm.
19.
19. Elatella, it's interesting.
Yes.
The scan, despite you looking directly at it, comes back as inconclusive. You are getting a variety of distances, telemetries, energy readings. You're getting like a full spectrum of them. None of them seem to have anything to do with what you are looking at. And with a 19, as you've sort of gone through, you're basically realizing that whatever they were talking about, scanner's not working on this area. It is weird. It's not telling you that like it's kind of like nothing's coming up as odd. It's just giving you a lot of erroneous readings.
This is consistent with what we found.
Yes. So this was consistent with your technology as well, correct?
Correct.
So it may be safe to assume that this is some sort of anomaly that behaves in a way that I have never seen. Have I never seen anything
No,
with
not-
these readings?
Not this.
There is
Fascinating.
something very interesting about this, and
Isn't
I'm
it?
not
It
sure.
is interesting. Yes.
And we perhaps should not venture into it because perhaps we could be torn apart, transported.
Or
This could be
perhaps it will
wormhole.
take us to another realm.
Yes.
I do not wish to go to another realm at this very moment.
You wish us to abandon you? That doesn't seem.
Look, Elutella, this is though I have only met you recently. I have been on one long journey where the only way out is through. Let's proceed through.
This is against my better judgment, but Ilakie, will you be proceeding through?
I say we send the robot first.
Which robot?
I look over to Dahlia.
Well, how about we tether to
Remember,
them?
one robot saved your life, and the other appeared under suspicious circumstances.
Yes, Pascal, why don't you go?
All right.
However, I do believe that we should tie something to you.
All
To
right.
Perhaps
Are
pull
we
you back.
carrying rope? I don't believe we're carrying rope, are we?
Would you like to hold my hand?
Probably not any rope, no. Rope is not
No
typical
rope.
sci-fi gear.
No.
At this point, Pascal and
Yes.
I would say Alekie and Elitel. Lauren, just roll me any. Just roll any die, just to tell me even or odd.
Odd.
Odd. Okay. Not you. Yours was lost. Dahlia and you're something's probably beeping inside you, but you have no idea what any of this means, so it's whatever. But Alekie and Pascal, Pascal, yours is probably technically on the outside. You both have just sort of general, comm link receivers and such. A message is being broadcast on sort of like all channels right now to both of you. It's like an all point message is coming through.
Did this happen? Did something like this happen to my crew? Like, did they also get something like this?
I want you to make a mental recall information roll.
Okay. Mental call info. Okay. That is a 9.
Not that you remember.
Okay.
You don't remember a message coming through that led to this.
I'll go ahead and pull up the message.
Okay. And there is just a message kind of coming in, and you hear it. It's a woman's voice. It sounds human, sort of just speaking, saying, "Repeat to whoever just left Arlington Grith facility. Do not proceed towards the anomaly. It is a woeful place to go. Repeat to whoever just departed from an Arlington Grith facility. If you can hear me, for the love of everything you hold dear, do not head toward that anomaly. It is nothing but danger inside." And the message kind of is repeating. In the distance from you all, you do see like the glint of jetpack fire as someone is sort of moving in your general direction from your facility.
I perceive this to be a trap. I believe that we should. I'm going to go ahead and, if you wish to come with me, that is fine. I'm going to go through this anomaly.
Call back to us from the other side.
I doubt that will be possible, but all right, I'll start walking
Okay. Pascal,
quickly.
you walk through this area. And you pass through, and it's very strange. As soon as he walks through, you don't see him any longer. On the other side, Pascal, you see not exactly the landscape that you saw, but for the most part a barren landscape, though there are a couple of sort of structures built another like half a kilometer away. There's also a small road. You see a few light posts. The lights are sort of on the area, sort of is lit here. But sort of standing about 50, 60 meters from you and now walking in your direction is a figure wearing a sort of black shroud over their head. They're sort of moving to you rather quickly. They seem to have some kind of like large like pole arm or axe in their hand, and sort of they're holding their hand up to you.
I am going to. Might as well start sending data.
Do they seem to be aggressive?
You don't see this. None of you have ventured, unless anybody's following him in.
Yeah. Go.
You'd like to send data. Wonderful. You can transmit if you'd like.
Yes.
I assume you're going to do so as intensely as possible, or do you want to do it covertly? Are you pulling out this? Are you pulling out the stuff, or are you just going to try to do?
No, I'm going to go. I'm just gonna. Fuck. This thing looks menacing. Yes. Nothing good is coming from.
Make an insight roll. That's under dreadful. Make an insight roll. The person sort of waving towards you and kind of coming with this sort of axe thing behind them.
That's a 14.
They seem to be intense, but they don't necessarily seem menacing. They actually seem like to be like they're like telling you to just like wait there, kind of almost. They're like I'm coming sort of a thing.
And behind me, I'm guessing I don't see the rest of my.
Behind you, and everything looks distorted and weird. The stars above you look distorted and weird as well.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll make the transmission, but not. I'll just like
not
just the
understood. No, you're pulling it out, or you just doing
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead and as you sort of begin that.
I'd also like to see, actually, as I do that, if it's possible, actually, I'd like to try to also send back to the receivers of my team to communicate that I'm all right, but they should come quickly.
Okay, those will be 2 separate rolls, and since you're doing this quickly, you're going to take a 1-die penalty on each. However, you can always, and you did get some more, you can always spend your power cubes when it counts, adding a die before a roll is made.
Okay, so the first one is...
This is to just like a general broadcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
A 23.
Great. Ooh, I actually should roll one of these. Wonderful. Okay, so you managed to get a broadcast. Very good.
And I'll use one of my power die to get it back.
Thing.
The next is a 20.
Nice.
I'm good at what I do.
A 20. So, Elekie, you hear sort of a message from Pascal. It's interesting. It's in his voice, even though it doesn't necessarily seem aloud. That comes over, and you hear him basically just saying, "I'm all right." Pascal, that's the message you gave to them out there. I'm all right. I'm still alive.
I'm all right, but I'm all right, but I could use some help.
I'm all right, but I could use some help. So you'll hear that. This person, upon rushing you, pauses, and it seems like they were almost in the midst of calling out to you, but upon seeing you do this, begins shouting, it's an android. It's an android. The awareness is here. Upon you hearing the word awareness, I need you to make a resist fear roll.
Oh
That is
no.
under your dreadful.
Oh no. Okay. Oh, that's a 6 on the dread. Kaboom.
Ooh, okay, you'll be over the...
Okay, so 6, 9, so 10, 18.
With an 18, also given where you are, you hear that word, and Pascal, it's almost like you have a very momentary data cycle. Like something you're like awareness, like that's something, but you manage to just sort of push past it, and you're still you. Something felt very odd to your sort of android brain. It just felt like a weird little glitch, but time is moving. This person is rushing towards you with his polearm, kind of like calling out, and you actually see some other hooded figures who are also sort of spread out, beginning to move in your direction. Elekie, you heard that on your comm. What are you, Elatella, Rawlings, and Dahlia Bot doing?
He says he is fine but needs assistance. Shall we proceed?
Very well. Yes.
Yes, I'll go next.
I will once again state that I am not overly strong, so I will be here to provide intellectual support.
So
I'll go through next.
Dahlia
and
goes through next. Elekie.
warm up my laser eyes.
Have my
Zoop,
gamma staff.
zoop.
Gamma staff.
I will. Can I? Like, are you wearing clothes?
Oh.
I don't know what
He
you're.
wears
Really?
clothes, yes.
I didn't know it was an option to not be wearing clothes. in this
Dahlia,
game.
technically,
Oh
you are
my.
not wearing clothes in this because you're just.
I mean, okay, true. Technically, I am.
you're like a clothesless Barbie doll, but chrome.
So I'm going to grab like whatever clothing or strap or whatever.
You can grab a tentacle.
Oh.
I will
Pull it
not
like
grab.
behind his neck. Oh God, beard from behind. Come on now.
I will grab and just like huddle behind Elekie and
Okay.
follow him.
Understood. Rawlings, are you also entering as Dahlia and Elekie go through? All right.
Yes, I
so
am.
as
Yes.
you all enter, sort of Pascal, this person with this sort of polearm is sort of rushing you, and they all sort of come up behind. You hear voices with these hoods going, it's a robot! It's a killer robot! It's a Valderon robot! And they're sort of shouting at Dahlia. You notice that in the distance, a couple of people are shooting bows and arrows at you.
Do those have any effect?
Well, typically they would not, but the bow and so basically these two arrows come arcing towards you. Although I actually technically should roll this.
Oh
and this.
no!
Oh no!
I need, so is anyone, if anybody wants to try to like, it seems like the bows and arrows are not like coming at anyone specifically, but does anybody want to like attempt to dodge or get out of the way or do anything like this as your...
Yeah, sure.
I will just be mirroring Alekie's moves.
Mirroring it. Okay, so Dahlia, please make a dodge roll. That's under physical. Pascal, you're just kind of keeping your hands up, trying to like be chill.
Physical for me, 4D. Okay.
I'm gonna be. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, I'll
dodge?
be-
Should I do dodge or resist injury?
This
I'll
is
be-
to see if you can get away from it, basically.
Okay.
I'll be a little bit chill for right now.
Okay, cool.
I'll yell out, "We are not here to kill."
Okay.
There you go.
I'll try to dodge and say, yes, we're exploring. We're in search of information.
Understood.
Yeah, I dodge as well in a very
Okay, not bad.
practiced way.
Okay. What do you got, Alekia?
Oh,
15,
probably roll.
19.
Huh?
Can I assist on his dodge with my wings?
Sure. Throw an extra die on there for you, Alekia. Give yourself
15.
an extra d6.
19.
19. Okay. Actually, yes, Dahlia, if you would roll a resist injury for me. However, you can use power cubes to do this. I need you to take a 2-die penalty. Pascal, would you also resist injury with a 2-die penalty?
Oh, no.
Why? Rude.
Very
Fine,
rude.
I'll
You don't even
use
know.
2 power cubes.
You're rude.
Rude. I'll go ahead and use 2 power cubes so I get my actual resist injury roll.
Damn.
Ew.
I guess I'll use 1.
Okay.
Might as well.
Exploded.
Nice.
All right, so 10
Oh, I
9.
have to look 'cause 2 came through.
No.
12 is 22. Was 28.
28. That is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
You are in fact you're only the condition of stunned, which means you're just kind of cut down and stuff. Pascal, as
No, the
these-
28. I'm
these,
stunned.
well, 2 of them hit, so it was a lot of points. At the base of this, these 2 EMP bursts that were on these EMP grenades at the bases of these 2 arrows impact. Pascal, you're sort of just standing there like you weren't super dodging. Pascal, your system shut down and you fall to the ground. Dahlia, your systems aren't functioning right, but maybe it's because you are a brain inside this tin can of yours. You are still managing to sort of move around.
Okay.
And as you rush up, one of the shrouded people screams, "The others are organic, they're fine, they're fine." And this person is sort of like rushing you with this polearm. What are Alekia, Elatella, and Rawlings doing?
I want to jump up in a defensive position in front of the aggressor.
Okay.
Am I light enough to just
Yes, to
latch
just be
onto
hovering
his
and just being
back?
pulled behind him. That's fine. That's fine. Rawlings, what are you doing?
I'm just say, stop there. We're not here to fight.
Make a persuasion or manipulate, whatever you'd like from that dreadful. Convince or manipulate, your preference.
I'll do a convince roll.
Alrighty.
Philip, that's a 13.
stop? Put your die in the freezer.
No, it's not a single die. It's like a bunch of d6s.
I gotta know.
Shenanigans.
Your dices.
I did it! I rolled a 13!
No!
Did you really roll a 13?
Oh,
You can't
We
see
got
'cause
nothing.
my-
We got nothing because of the lights.
Yeah. Oh man, I did roll a 13. Oh man.
Well, guess what,
Go
Fernando?
away!
I'm trying to show you.
I need you. I see it. I need you to do me a favor.
And roll again.
Please roll a d13 again.
Why did I come back to this show?
I know. Nothing but stress.
You are.
Andrew, it's your fault.
All right.
Wait, what was it?
You try to convince them that you're not here to fight.
Oh boy.
And you do so. But all of this commotion seems to have awoken something. And sort of the one who's like rushing you pauses and then stops. And then screams, "Larva! Larva!"
We weren't treading rhythmically. We were treading rhythmically.
You do notice, kind of on your
I caught
foot,
that Dune reference. Very
slithering
nice.
over your boot, is this worm-like larval thing with a starfish head at the end of it.
Oh no.
It's kind of coming out of one of the pock-marked rocks on the ground. And it's slithering over your shoe and almost like holding you down on the ground. And that's when you see others of them beginning to pull up, surrounding all of you. The shrouded people, seeing this, all turn and run away. What do you all want to do?
Can I activate my jetpack?
Ooh, you can activate your jetpack, absolutely. So you're going to make a jetpack roll with your technical.
I'd like to add 2 power cubes onto this.
Wonderful.
So is he's flying away?
He's trying to pick.
I'm not trying to fly away, I'm trying to get off the ground.
Yeah.
Can I?
Oh god,
yes.
yeah, that's a 60.
Can I try to fly with Alekia as well?
You want to pick him up? You can absolutely do that, but I'll need you to make a physical roll to do so. And remember, you do have power cubes.
I would like to use 2 power cubes.
All right. I'm going to make... Rawlings, what is your physical stat?
My physical is a 2d plus 2.
2d plus 2. All right. Make a physical roll for me.
I'll add a power cube to this as well.
Oh my god.
14.
All right. With a 25, you fly up, but one of these things is wrapped around your foot.
Okay.
This larva, it's about this long, and it's kind of just pulsing in its body. Its starfish sort of head is just kind of moving around you. Others of them are all sort of squirming up, looking at these people above. Dahlia, you're just standing here as he flies. You are kind of dazed. Pascal's on the ground. These things don't seem to be interested in you all.
Not organic matter.
Well, they haven't smelt around you enough yet to try to break into the brainy filling. But at this point, they're all trying to do. Elatella, what did you roll to lift Alekia? 13?
Bro.
Was it a 13? Oh, that's really cool. That was really cool. Thanks for making my dreams come true on the night of my life. All right, so please roll a d13.
Welcome, Raiders.
Oh, welcome, Raiders. Hi, we're in the middle of
My personal hell.
We've got a horror surge going, and everything is good.
That was a 1.
A 1. Okay, cool. So no further horror surge, because 2 horror surges are great. But so basically, you with a 13. Ooh, actually, wait. Will that be enough for you to pick him up? Just with your flight. I'm gonna say you can get him off the ground, but you guys are like not like.
Okay, but like above.
You're up off the ground, maybe by like a couple of feet. You're sort of there. Pascal, you're cycling. You're about to turn sort of back. You're gonna turn back on here in a moment after that EMP burst. No matter what, you're stunned.
You see like the windows, like the rolling fields, like just displayed on my eyes.
Just like a DOS, yeah, like
yeah, exactly, like this scan.
Then you hear like a 90s Mac startup sound, like bing.
Yeah.
So as you guys are hovering, Rawlings, you got one on your foot. Dahlia, you're sort of just like these things are coming up, but they're not messing with you. It is at this point that the two on the ground extend up, almost like cobras, standing all the way, and their starfish mouths open, and this acidic slime just is globuled out at Elutella and Alekia.
No!
Both of you, I need you to actually make a dodge for me, but because you're in the air with a heavy thing, and Alekia, you're not really in control, you both get 1 penalty on your dodge.
Does that mean just
Rollins.
one less die?
We get one.
1 less, yes. You take one less d6.
I
Rollins.
have 0.
A 0?
Well,
Oh
'cause-
no.
4. I rolled.
but I'm attached.
Yeah, so these things, oh, that's great. Okay, so they definitely spit acid on you. Rawlings, the one that's on you is also sort of trying to bite you, but if you want to try to kick it off, I'll let you make a physical roll to sort of do so as well.
Can I try and blast it?
No, this is kind of, it's like your sort of
okay.
action was flying, this is its turn.
So this should be a general physical roll right now?
Yeah, because you don't have this is you trying to stop it from attacking you, basically. I cannot imagine there's any
9.
way in hell. Yeah, you're not going to beat its 18. Okay, so I'm just going to do one. So actually, no, it's the acid is more damage against them. So can you please both make resist injuries for me? Alutella and Alekie.
15.
15. 7?
Can I put 3 power cubes?
You have to do it beforehand, but in the spirit of chapter 52, I will let you put 3 power cubes on it. That's fine.
Thank you. 15.
15.
I forgot
Okay,
how
cool.
much
So you
damage.
both roll a 15. In that case, you are both stunned right now. Which in this game is nowhere near as bad as it is in D&D. Stunned creatures, basically, you just get a -1 penalty on all of your sort of rolls, kind of in the coming round. So it's kind of just like you're just slightly dazed. You're not in big trouble. Rawlings, make a resist injury.
Resist injury, yes, I shall.
I rolled garbage on that.
11.
11, rolled a 10. So this thing sort of bites against you, and though it hurts, you don't think it's like
Damage.
infection pincers have gotten through or done anything. So it hurts real bad, but you take no damage. With that, they've attacked. Pascal, yeah, you boot up. Dahlia, you're on the ground, but it seems like there are now about 7 of these things crawling out looking for food. Elutella, Alekie, and Rawlings, I'm going to actually let you all make an action first, if you'd like to.
I would like to.
And both of you will sort of say the way you're stunned is it's like this acid is just like you've avoided, like it's not like sinking into you, but you like the fumes of it are just messing with you so bad that you both have a 1d penalty on everything.
Okay, can I utilize the weapon that I have to
Sure.
eliminate a couple of them?
Just try to shoot with your ray gun. Yeah, just
Yes.
a blast of ray gun energy, sure thing. Yeah, you can take a shot at that one for sure.
Okay.
Oh, just not amazing. Oh, screw you. I just rolled a 1 on his.
Another 15.
With a 15, you definitely hit it. Go ahead and roll your damage, but there's almost no chance.
Okay, 3.
Oh, I just exploded that. Pfft, whatever, doesn't matter.
10.
You blast it, and it kind of pops apart. There are only 12 left. Alekia,
I want to use my gamma staff to go
shoot
for
down
one.
at the other one that was spitting you. Go for
Yeah.
it.
What is that? What is the? What
So
do I roll?
in your
for the-
technical, you'll have a gamma staff. And then
Oh,
if
that's
you-
right. Okay,
if
that's
you
right. My
hit,
bad.
you'll roll the damage on it.
And I'm actually going to add a power cube
Ooh, to the
so
hits.
I can offset my
Oh, yes.
my.
Yes, and remember you do, and you don't take that penalty on the damage, but you take it on the attacks. Rawlings, since you're also shooting, you can go ahead and make your shot to shoot this guy.
Do I get any bonus, or is there any like disadvantage from the thing because it's like on me and I'm like putting my gun right up to it?
I'm gonna say the advantage and disadvantage will cancel itself out. You're kind of like
I was like, I'd be getting advantage and like they'd be getting because I'm like
Yeah.
I'm just like
so you're like you're kind of just like you're pointing your toe. You're going into a nice ballet point and just trying to like shoot it off without shooting your toe, and we'll just make the roll.
what if I'm okay with like maybe shooting my toe off?
Understood. We'll say no penalty, but if you roll really bad, maybe you'll shoot your toe.
I'll put a power cube on this.
Makes sense. Ilikie, what did you roll?
20 to hit and 17 damage.
The 20 hits, the 17 damage. It cannot possibly be out of that. Rawlings, what do we got?
That's a 3. I rolled a 1 on my dread die.
That's what you get.
Rawlings, you want to know what's
for
funny?
rolling a 13.
But
I rolled a 1 on my dread die, and it also
Uh-huh.
rolled a 3. I'm not sure what happens in a tie, so let's just say, in the spirit of Happy 52, let's say you hit, roll your damage, and it will roll its resist injury.
Oh, that's generous.
But
So
it takes out the
really-
pinky nail.
What's very cool is I rolled a 13 for damage.
That counts.
Yeah.
I hate you.
What?
And
That's triple 13.
Yeah.
So
5,
far.
4, 3 plus 1.
go to bed.
Wait,
Nah,
is
nah,
that
nah.
that's what? Yeah.
Is it?
The
So-
difference between you and me is you enjoy hurting us. I don't.
He's
I
not.
have
Wait, hold on.
wrapped around my
Um,
neck right now.
A slight point of order. So is it 13 on the dice or is it the 13 total?
It's
Total.
13 total when you roll your d6s if they sum to 13.
Plus your little bonus that you get.
Because he did his dice were 12.
No,
right?
no. I'm so sorry. It is not like. Wait. Was it 14?
My total damage was a 13.
Yeah, it's the total. It is not like how it is in the. It's not like it's a nat 13 like we do in D&D. It is when your total
Okay.
is the 13.
Appreciate you trying.
Yeah.
But yes, it is a time.
You know,
So, Rollins,
There's a reason
well.
I have this red Sith looking background behind me.
you do in fact blast that one off your foot. That's what
Excellent.
she said.
I will now roll
Yes, please roll on that.
5.
Cool. All right. So as you're shooting these things, these guys are coming up. At this point, so you guys have destroyed 3 of them. So there's only 10 left. But now there were sort of like maybe 4. So now there's 4 of them sort of slithering up, looking around. It seems like there's more emerging, but you see 4.
Was I able
of
to
them
fly a
now.
little higher as well?
You can fly higher. In fact, you're probably going to get out of acceptable range or spinning range, which is good.
That's what I would like to do.
Yeah,
yes.
you're definitely doing that. Elekia and Elatella, you guys are just kind of up in the sky. The ones on the ground, though, I'm gonna have only one of them will make a sense roll. Son of a gun! They roll a 1 on the wild die. So
Hey.
one of them kind of like moves near Dahlia, and just all it smells is the chrome, and it doesn't want to get to the brain inside.
She's got good insulation.
So they are going to be spitting at Elutella and Elekia. Now, Elutella, were you also you know what? For you were using all of you're actually now you're holding him one-handed because you were shooting. So I don't think you can try to be getting more.
Okay,
altitude.
no, legs are very strong.
So you've
Like
got
I'm
your
riding
legs,
him like a bull.
You've got your legs wrapped around him. Okay, fair enough.
Muscular legs.
Go ahead and then, still with that 1 penalty, go ahead and try to make another physical to lift him higher. So you have 1
Wait, so
penalty
with the
on.
penalty?
It's a 1 penalty, so it's a -1 on that.
I have,
So basically, all you're rolling is that. But again, power.
I'm gonna roll 2 power cubes
Okay.
too.
So this will give you a 3 total.
9.
Enough. You don't get any more distance, and now 4 of these spitting things are coming for you guys. Alekia?
I was gonna ask because I have a jetpack too, so she's lifting me up.
You fucker!
I didn't. You were just lifting me up.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Make a jetpack roll. You do have your 1d penalty on this.
Can I use power cubes?
Use as many power cubes as you'd like.
I'm gonna use 2.
Can we also just assume that I had the presence of mind to climb onto the jetpack, assuming it would deploy because Elekie should be?
No.
Fuck!
You've been trying to pick him up.
Okay.
Elekia, was that a 13? Look at his face.
very near.
It was a 14.
A 14.
Oh, thank
All
God.
right. Elekia, with a 14, you do manage to fly higher since none are on you, and you guys do manage to sort of get up.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I missed one. 16.
With the 16, okay, yeah, then you can
okay.
actually 16 crosses you. It's from 15 to 16 is a big thing. So you do manage to get up. Elutella, here's the problem. You only rolled a 9 on your holding on to him.
That was when I was trying to lift him.
I understand. So you're pulling on him. You're like got your legs on him, but then he jetpacks up, And the amount of strength you're exerting to have even lifted him is now the amount of strength you're exerting trying to hold on to him. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna say that you do get pulled back. I need you to make a resist injury roll.
I don't have What is it?
Those power cubes.
Oh, 6, 8, but I got a 6 on my power.
So roll it again. Roll it again.
Die.
Yeah.
10. Fuck.
Perfect. So with that, a 10. Well, let's roll the thing. The good news for you is your wings are sort of singed in the jetpack as he goes, because you with your like wrapped around him, you flip backwards and your wings kind of go into the jetpack, but you manage to like sit up and cling to him without injury. Now you and Rawlings and Alekier, this is a good situation for you. This horror surge involves you all basically getting out of range of these creatures because you have jetpacks in this world. Dahlia, none of them have noticed you. Pascal, you are you're booting up now. So
No, but I want to smash some.
oh sure, you can smash some. Are you
Oh,
wagering?
I was waiting
or...
on my turn.
I'm so sorry. Yes, you can. I forgot. Yes, you definitely have a turn.
Yeah, you get a
Okay,
turn.
can I smash some of these freaking worms?
Sure. Just you gonna step on them.
Yeah, sure.
They're they're the size of like a rat. You know, they're not like little worms. They're like
Yeah,
Good
I
18
wanna make smushes of them.
make a physical roll then
Okay, that's what I thought.
for you.
Hey, I got it. I keep exploding my power cube. That is good because my other dice sucked. All right, that's 9, 10, 15.
Yeah, you beat it. Go ahead and roll. Don't even roll damage. What's the point? Your physical damage actually is very high. It's also 4d for you to punch stuff.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll 4d. Its resistance is not gonna. You're gonna smash it.
I don't get. Do I get to explode if I roll a 6 on my 4D for
you
damage?
don't roll a wild, or you don't roll a dread die on damage.
Okay,
there's-
because I did get a 6 on it again.
It doesn't count in the damage, but yeah.
15, 18 points of damage.
You just step on one of these things and smash it. Pascal.
The others take notice and take warning.
Not really. They seem to just be weird starfish acid spitters. Pascal, you do sort of like, you're sort of sitting up. Your sensors, you see Dahlia is stepping on little worms, and you don't see the others, and it's kind of that like pixelated like as your sort of field of vision comes back.
Do I find this situation interesting enough to fulfill my objective?
I mean, you got a broadcast out, and
Okay.
you have information certainly, but but on the other hand, you have ventured about 3 meters into something that seems kilometers large. So,
Okay. So in that case, okay. In that case, I shall. I'll take out my ray gun and start blasting.
go ahead and make a ray gun roll.
Great.
Oh my gosh! I need to stop using this as my dread die. These
Okay.
bugs, because I'm rolling a lot of 1s on it.
Good.
Goes
Deserved
in
it.
the dice jail.
You deserve.
Okay, so that is. Sorry, this is my first time doing this. So that's a 12 to hit, I guess.
Yeah, it's a 12 to do it. They're unable to dodge, so now roll the damage for that weapon, which I think is 3d plus 1.
Yeah, so that's a very low roll. That is a 7 total.
A 7 actually is enough to defeat its 3 on its resist
Oh.
damage, and yes, you in fact do shoot it, and it splatters apart. So that is now, there are only 8 of them left, but they are sort of all slurping on the ground. At this time, a figure begins to walk towards sort of where you're all hanging out. Dahlia, you see this person. It's somebody kind of just walking. It looks like the clothing they're wearing is kind of slightly different. They're not wearing like a uniform suit or anything. They are wearing a spacesuit, but it's kind of more like leathery, like a leather jacket sort of thing. They have this black shroud on, but sort of like just gets up close. And Dahlia, you hear this voice speaking from this person who's walking. Has just kind of like a club in hand, like a kind of like a sap or a blackjack. And this voice just goes, Well, this is an interesting situation here. Huh. You're a resilient robot there. Never seen anyone build a robot like you.
I'm rather unique. Explain yourself. What are these? Are there still worms?
Yeah. There's still several. There's still like 8 of them, just kind of all like standing up, trying to find something to spit out.
Is there one near me that I can like step on while I'm talking?
Yes,
to
you
this
can.
person?
We're kind of maybe Pascal. If you're continuing to sort of blast these things and you're stepping on.
I'm
them,
actually, while this is happening, I'm just gonna go ahead and I don't know if I'm ever gonna have this opportunity again, so I'm just gonna go ahead and send a big old transmission.
Perfect.
And
Okay.
you watch as my jaw unhinges, and like my tongue lolls out, and like a sort of like a very like Flash Gordon antenna extends out, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and like I want to try to send as much stuff back as I can before something horrible happens.
All right.
Looking down,
Um,
I cling on to Lucky.
Golly, upon him beginning to do that, this guy who was walking kind of
Deeply
curious
disturbed.
sees this, and he just rushes forward with his sort of blackjack out, about to swing at Pascal's head. He's gonna try to like take this guy's head off.
Wait.
He sees his transmission. Dahlia,
Wait. I'll call out and yell, wait.
you saying wait seems to have no effect. If you want to physically interpose yourself, you may. So Pascal,
Can I like grab the thing?
Yes, go ahead, and in this case, it'll be a brawl. You're gonna try to like grasp him, and he'll try to brawl back.
Okay, it's a brawl.
Yeah, so it's a physical. Sorry.
Okay. Oof.
Oh, no.
I rolled a 1,
Oh, okay.
which means I have 2.
2.
Yep.
Yeah, he rolled a 22. So as you sort of like you try to grab him, and he just kind of like ducks and weaves under you. But his shroud, as he ducks, like floats up, and you see underneath this matinee idol, handsome guy. Dahlia, he looks like the kind of man who would tell a woman to call him sir.
Ugh.
And as he
gross.
like rushes forward, like
Oh.
winding up towards Pascal and running this Pascal, you are in the process of transmitting, so you have 2 options. You can either just do everything you can to transmit as well as you can, or you can dodge, in which case you're going to take a 1d penalty on both the dodge and the transmission. Kind of the penalty for doing 2 things at once is the idea. So you can either get your transmission out if you think that's important, or you can, duck and weave, and the transmission and the dodge will slightly suffer in both cases. And you can always use power cubes to offset that if you want to, etc.
Yeah, I'll go. I mean, why? Porque, why not? Why not both?
Okay, cool. So let's do the transmission first.
Okay.
So it'll be a 4D unless you're using a power cube.
Yes, I will use a power cube.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'll do a 4. No, that's fine. I'll do 4.
Okay, we'll take that with a little bit of penalty. And you are doing like the full stuff, so your range is pretty intense here.
19.
I am very, very sorry. Because you are within this shielded thing, you do need over a 20 to make your way out. Which is very
Should
sad.
have gotten the power dice.
Go ahead and now make your dodge.
Oh boy. All right, I'll use 2 power.
Okay, so your dodge is typically
2. The 3 rather.
It's a 3, so it would have been a 2, but yours is 4.
So it's 4.
And he puts his wind up the pitch, swinging with his. Well, we don't even know how many he rolls.
Oh yeah, there's no way I'm gonna. It's gonna be good night.
Okay.
That is a 15.
Cool. He rolls a 24. So he just swings this blackjack right into Pascal's head. Pascal gets a transmission off, but then you see like wires and little satellite dishes in his mouth and this stuff just go flying. Pascal, please make a resist injury roll.
Yep. 16.
Oh, shoot. Should he dread this? He will do a dread on this, actually. Hold on. He does not want you transmitting. He was all nice until you started transmitting. 16? Okay, so he has exceeded you, but so you are only stunned. He has not like damaged you. He's kind of stopped to the transmission, and he's like knocked a couple pieces off. But you were effectively just stunned. You're just kind of like bewildered, and he kind of like just glares at you. And there's something so charismatic about this man. His jaw is just so square. You know, you have piercing eyes, but he also has piercing eyes. Again, for some reason, you think about people who would really like this guy. Now, this is a movie star. He's so handsome, but he's
got the X factor,
and he just gives you this look of like none of that now. And he's now kind of like just holding on to you, almost like trying to like bend off and break some of your tech. And he just looks up there and says, "You folks should come on down. I think at this point Dahlia has stepped on all of the other worms. I think your programming's strange, sweetheart."
Excuse me, what?
He looks at you, and kind of you see him like gearing up, like ready to get into a fight, and he's got his hand just on Pascal's tongue, basically, that is under this distended jaw, and he just looks at you, Dahlia, and says, "What's the awareness gonna think about you being in here?" Pascal, please make another resist fear roll. Dahlia, you don't need to.
13.
Can you I forgot to tell you, do you have your D13 handy?
Welcome back, Andrew.
Understood. No problem. Can someone roll a D13? Liv, would you roll? Do you have yours handy?
Yeah, I do. No, are we at a 12?
We're at a 12.
One more roll.
No. If I roll a 13, very bad things will happen.
The good news for you is, Andrew, you do resist any sort of...
I rolled a 10.
10. Woo! So he sort of says this, and he's watching Dahlia, but he's holding you, but then he kind of looks at Dahlia, and then he looks at you. He lets go of you for a moment, Pascal, and says, "You're not bad." But then he rounds on Dahlia. One last worm's there, and he just kind of smacks it on the ground. Kind of comes up to you, just kind of, leaning down, gazing into your eyes. "Who's in there?"
Who's asking?
"I'm just a drifter, going from here to there. Don't you worry about me. But right now, I'm very intrigued."
I try to manipulate him.
Go ahead.
Classic
I dare you.
Dahlia.
I'm also going to use 2 power cubes, because why not?
What does that get you to?
7.
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
Oh, my God.
Manipulate him into trusting me, doing what I want, I guess. Ew, okay. That is 18. Oh, wait, no. 24. 27. 32.
Dang. That, So what is it you're sort of saying to the drifter?
Convincing him that I am kind of what he's been looking for, and also not to worry about me.
He's not going to be able to believe both of those at once.
Okay, so it's gotta be
We're
one.
going to settle for the first one. He stops and says, "You are exactly what I've been looking for. Hey. What's your name?"
Dahlia.
Dahlia.
Like the flower?
Dahlia. Hey, Dahlia. You see that he's got this like look in his eye, this kind of gleam. Dahlia, did you you're not from around here, are you? I heard of you, sweetheart. You used to run with the Stone Man, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Make a deception roll.
Hey, that's 6 though.
Uh-oh, he just exploded, sorry. It's gonna be
No.
I rolled another 6 on it.
Keep going.
He's well over 30.
I'm not. I mean, I rolled well, but it's not over 30.
He just chuckles and goes, "Oh my god, you're not alive, but you're..." I need to roll a recall info for him, because he theoretically could know this. I'm using the rest of my power cubes for him. Yeah, that's over. Whatever, that's a 25 something. He pauses for a moment and goes, "Oh my god, this is I fucking love this game so much, you guys. Thank you for doing this. I just love everything about this." Rawlings and we're gonna pause for a second. Rawlings, Elutella, and Alekie. You see all these things are down. He attacked Pascal, then let him go, and now he's just focused completely on Dahlia. What are the rest of you doing?
If it's safe, I'll land.
You guys land. He kind of
like,
you see him like clock all of you landing, and he sort of smirks, and he's so good looking. He's just like, it's not just that he's good looking, he's just got presence. It's hard to explain. But he kind of looks at you all, but he's focused completely on Dahlia. And Dahlia, he kind of steps to you and goes, "I'm worried about your friend. Oksana, I think's her name."
Oksana?
So you are who I think you are, right?
What's wrong with Oksana?
She's a vampire. It's a bad thing to do
So?
right now. Listen, it's a really bad time for vampires.
What do you mean?
Do you
Is
know
she in
what's been
danger?
going on? Oh, she's in big danger. I can't even guarantee you that she's still alive, but I know.
No.
You do care about her, don't you? Good.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Well, now listen. I want to help her, but the problem is, being a vampire is a really bad thing. Vampires are hiding. They're running scared, but maybe if you reach out to her.
Why are they scared?
There was a place called Heistles. And, no one knows why, but the boss there died. And now there's a new boss. And this boss is a vampire, which means a lot of the other bosses and a lot of the other places are real worried about vampires, real worried about the balance. And your old friend, the Stone Man, well, I don't gotta tell you what he's like.
Did he hurt her?
I hope not. He kind of just, he kind of like... I just want to help everybody. I just want to make sure everyone's all right. Will you help me? Will you help me get in touch with her? Will you help me find her? Will you help me keep her safe?
Do I trust him?
Make an insight roll. As I roll all the dice in a 5-mile radius for his deception.
All the time.
M.
16.
You know that you've manipulated him into thinking you're important. But, so therefore you're like, of course he's not lying to me. But there's this weird moment as you're now like, oh my god, I manipulated him into realizing that he does really need me. You completely believe him. You believe him at his 32. He's like, will you help me? Will you and your friends? even your android. Your android can be welcome here. If you guys are okay to stop the awareness and what he's trying to do. The awareness and the stone man, they're all connected, don't you see?
Yes.
As long as the vampires are safe, they're not going to hurt them. So we got to make sure.
Yes, anything to save Oksana.
Anything to save Oksana. Then he looks at you in just this like piercing glance, and he's clocked Elatella and Alekier and Rawlings. Actually, wait, clocked Rawlings. He's got to roll at least a 30. No, he is not. He doesn't realize anything's weird with you, Rawlings. You're not really on his radar yet. But he's like, Oksana's all that matters. Then we're gonna make sure she's okay. I promise.
Yes.
Good. Well, welcome to the team then. We got our work cut out for us. Hey, it's okay. He can tell, he knows you cannot cry, but he can tell you're in distress, and he gives you this like grip on your shoulders, and even though you're only feeling the sensors, it is genuinely comforting.
My programming makes like a weird whining sound.
They just like whatever lubricating oils start coming out of the eye pores for the out of the ocular things, and that is actually where we're going to end. Chapter 52 of Blood.
Wow.
Wow.
The real curveball, because that was not that wouldn't have happened unless you'd said that wouldn't happen with you manipulating him like that. That was crazy.
Wow.
Boy, that drifter, he's all right. He's never done one bad thing, as far as I can tell.
I don't trust him.
Oh my god.
All right.
I don't like this. I don't like this gentleman at all.
He's
Yeah.
all right.
I find him. Yeah.
I'll tell you. I'll phrase it like this, Andrew. Now that we're sort of like into the like year mark, there's some new players, kind of like not literal players, but in the game, and
Oh yeah.
I'll sort of give the thing. So the drifter is something called a mistwalker. There are a very few people who can freely cross between the planes. He's one of them, and he seems to serve not just one Dark Lord, but a few of them with some agenda. And he's the reason that the loot died in Hysteles. He gave people some liquor, and they drank it, and then the loot ate them and immediately died. So this guy's got access to some stuff, and he's got some manipulation abilities. And he just found the chrome-plated robot of his dreams.
Real memories of the Stone Man.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Well, guys, thank you. I want to say thank you to all the players here. Thank you specifically for being here for a year. I want to say I'm sort of a special thanks to all of you, and I'm going to say a first thanks to Liv and to Andrew, who were here since the first session. You guys were here that first session where Andrew died. As yet, aside from things where it was like a murder dungeon and people were dying like 6 times in a thing, Andrew, I believe, is the only person who's died twice in a... No!
Jed, I think, has died. Oh no, Zane has.
Zane did as well when Dank the Chosen. Oh my gosh, that was not until so it took 24 sessions for that to happen again. So
Andrew, are you glad you're back, or are you like?
Are you immediately like?
You
Why
know, it's like a traumatic glove. You know, it just like it fits. It's warm, and it's just really nice actually to be with everyone here. So
I'm so happy to have you back. We're gonna have more fun. We'll have some more sort of players and stuff joining soon. So this is some really exciting stuff. I want to say thank you. So thanks to them. Also thanks to Dan, who's been in the... Dan, Lauren, and Zane actually, I think, all joined the main cast around the same time, right? That was when the Dragon game started. You guys all came in. I want to say thank you to you.
That was when Oksana. That was because that was Oksana's first game.
Oh, that was your first game as a regular? That was that was chapter 13, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, Lauren, didn't you have another character before Oksana?
Oh, yeah.
Patty Holly. And Madam Ether. Yeah, I was
my first game. My first game though was Oksana's first game.
Oh, okay, so Dan came later.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was so. Anyway, guys, this has just been a blast. I really appreciate everyone being here. If you like what we do here, please follow our channel, subscribe if you're able. You can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, get a free sub, renew it every month, all that garbage. Take the money away from Amazon. Also, please go to our Discord. We post recaps of all these. We chat about stuff over there. It's super fun. You can go to our socials. You can follow all of our wonderful players if you go to our About page. They're all doing really cool stuff. Then we have some other games. On Sundays and Mondays, we have not one but 2 connected Star Wars games.
Sure do.
Because I knew Obi-Wan would be starting now, and I knew I'd be in a particularly Star Wars-y mood. So on Sunday nights, we have Luminous Beings telling the tale of some 4,000-year-old ghosts in new bodies. And on Mondays, we have Crude Matter, the tale of their bodies when the ghosts are not in control of the bodies. So yeah, definitely check that out on Sundays and Mondays. That game's been really fun watching. Basically, each one ends with a cliffhanger as the new group winds up realizing what crazy hijinks they're in for this time. And then on Tuesdays, we have Grey in the Dark, our noir game, which is also sort of heating up and getting really fun. That's a very fun game. I recommend it to everybody. I want to say a special thanks to everyone who's been watching for so long, or even just starting. This Blood from a Stone is an interesting game because it's kind of less of a clear through line throughout, but as you can see, things from, we haven't seen Oksana since, I think, session 23, so...
Been a while.
Things kind of can pop up again, so there's sort of these weird,
I love Oksana.
weird stuff like that. So I want to say thanks to everyone for watching. Until next time.
We want to give
I'm
a
so
shout
sorry.
out.
Yes.
We had a
my
couple
God.
raids tonight.
Oh my
we
God.
got to give a shout out to the buff dudes that came through. Swole Initiative Network has come through, I think, like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Thank
with
you so
all
much.
of their buffness.
Noise.
With their
So
raid.
much
We
buffness.
had Gut Punch RP come through with a raid this evening as well. Kim's Craft resubscribed this evening, and then just so many of our regulars like in the chat. Like, really, it's so cool to be able to engage with you all, see you all every week. Like, this is our Friday, and
Thanks a lot.
it really does. So just thank you all for being here with us. It's
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it's so appreciated. And we hope you enjoy this. And
Love y'all.
we hope that we can eventually get to 169 sessions of this game. For, as it was pointed out, that is 13 times 13. Ha-ha! All right. So in that case, with all of that being said, until next time, have a dreadful night.